So here's the question. What do you want? And what if you could get something more than what you want? My high school football days taught me an important lesson about what I want and what happens when I don't get what I want. For the week leading up to a game, we were intensely focused on beating the opposing team. We had chants that we would repeat as we did calisthenics to boost our confidence. We listened to the scouting report about the other team. We pictured the opposing players when we tackled each other during practice. And on game day, we spent our final half hour in the locker room with the lights off, listening to a recording of a motivational speech by a famous football coach. So by game time, when we ran onto the football field, we had no doubt that we would be victorious. We wanted to win more than anything we could imagine. And some weeks we did. And there was no better feeling than to walk off the field as the winning team. But a lot of weeks we did not. And after all we'd done in preparation, that we didn't win came as more than a disappointment. We were left in complete disbelief. What we wanted more than anything, we didn't get. But I'm grateful for coaches who also taught us about defeat. Before we could walk off the field, we lined up to congratulate the winning team, high-fiving each player. And on the bus ride home, we were not allowed to complain about the unfairness of the refs or cheating by the other team. See, there was something more important than winning. We called it sportsmanship. Treating each person respectfully, as we would want to be treated. Now, if you listen to this point, you might think I'm about to draw a comparison to the presidential election, but I'm not. My football memory came to mind as I was reading from the New Testament book of James. It's a letter written by the brother of Jesus. During Jesus' lifetime, James, his brother, was not convinced that his older brother was the Messiah. I mean, would you? If your older brother or sister told you he or she was a Messiah, would you believe that? It was only after Jesus' death and resurrection, seeing his brother raised from the dead, that he believed and eventually gave his own life, telling others that Jesus was who he said he was. And in his letter, we are given a teaching about conflict that 2,000 years later still works. Now, if you want to look this up, I'm reading from the letter to James, chapter 4. And he says, what is the source of conflict among you? What is the source of your disputes? Don't they come from your cravings that are at war in your own lives? And that's our human condition, isn't it? There's this war going on inside of us. I mean, we have all these wants and desires, and eventually they leak out onto the lives of others. And when we can't get what we want, isn't that the true source of our conflicts? I'm not getting what I want. Neither are you. And James says, you long for something you don't have, so you commit murder. Now, not literally, at least not most of us. This is hyperbole. Have you ever wanted something to death? Wanted something so much, so badly, wanted a relationship to death, and the pressure and expectation killed the relationship? Or you wanted a deal so much, or a promotion so much, and then you didn't get it. I mean, we can want so much that it destroys. And James says, you are jealous for something you can't get, so you struggle and fight. And we end up blaming. If it weren't for so and so, or if it weren't for that thing that happened, or if you hadn't done this to me. Our challenge is not knowing what we want, but knowing what we really want because we're distracted by what we want. And when we put our focus there, we miss what we really want. We miss the joy. We miss the satisfaction. You know, I look at our nation and our community. I mean, are you red or blue or maybe purple? You know, I think about Christians who battle with each other over who has the right belief or the right interpretation. Or maybe a dispute you are having with another person. And there is so much fighting, so much arguing, so much conflict. And I get tired of it all. And I wonder, surely God must get tired of it too. And in chapter 4, verse 10, James says, here's the point of this message. Humble yourself before the Lord, and he will lift you up. Humility. Seeing others more important than yourselves. You don't criticize others and you don't criticize or shame yourself. It means seeing everyone as important and loved and worthy of respect. And that ought to be true. Whether you are the President of the United States, a leader in your own workplace, a parent, a spouse, a friend, or a football player on the losing end of a game you wanted to win. Because the real winner is the one who shows humility. And how do I know that? Jesus said so. He said, whoever wants to be first must be least of all and servant of all. I'm Steve Richards, one of the pastors at Messiah Church. God bless you all.